Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to get into one of the most astonishing turnarounds in modern business history. We're talking about Google's dramatic and, frankly, sudden AI comeback, a story almost entirely rewritten by the launch of Gemini 3.
It's an incredible story. And to really get the scale of it, you have to remember where they were.
Exactly. To grasp where they are today, we have to go back. Because not that long ago, the consensus was that Google, the company that basically birthed modern AI, was the biggest loser of the generative AI boom.
It was more than just a bad phase. It was a full-blown crisis of confidence. I mean, you have to go back to early 2023, that first major chatbot release.
The live demo.
The live demo. If you were watching, you saw it. The bot just hallucinated right out of the gate. It gave completely false information with this total conviction.
And the market reaction was immediate and just brutal.
Brutal is absolutely the right word. That one demo, that one mistake, wiped billions with a B.
Billions in a day.
Billions off their market cap in a single day. It's just a staggering reminder of how volatile this space is.
But was that panic justified at the time?
Well, from the outside, it looked like it. The analysts were relentless. They pointed to this deep-seated bureaucracy, this slowness, and this crippling fear of shipping anything that might be controversial.
They seemed paralyzed, just stumbling while everyone else was sprinting.
And that's why this comeback is so fascinating. You fast forward to today, and they've pulled off one of the fastest, most comprehensive turnarounds in tech history, all culminating in Gemini 3. The contrast is, it's just night and day.
Yeah, unlike that first disaster, Gemini 3's debut did the exact opposite. It sent Google's stock soaring to an all-time high. It's completely repositioned them.
Not just back in the game, it's positioned them as a real contender for having the best AI model on the market, period.
So we have to look at this. Our mission today is to figure out what happened. Is Gemini 3 a genuine, massive technical step forward?
Or is this just a brilliantly executed leap in, organizational focus and marketing?
Okay, let's unpack this, starting with the data.
And what's so fascinating here is that the conversation around what makes a model good has just exploded beyond simple academic tests.
Right. We're not just talking about passing the bar exam anymore. The landscape of benchmarks, especially from hobbyists and researchers, is getting weird.
Yeah.
And very creative.
In a good way.
Oh, totally. Some of the examples from the sources are just fantastic. Like, people are testing which model is better at running a simulated vending machine business.
Right, managing inventory, pricing, all of that.
Or which one can recognize obscure Pokemon silhouettes.
And then you have the really deep-end philosophical tests. The one source that phrased it as, which model looks most likely to turn humans into biological batteries.
It sounds absurd, but it's a way of stress testing for this kind of weird cross-domain logic that we can't quite define yet.
And the thing is, across all of this weirdness and across this serious academic stuff too, Gemini 3 Pro's results are incredibly consistent.
That's the word that keeps coming up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Consistency.
It is. No matter which test you look at, from the simulated business to hardcore coding logic, Gemini 3 Pro is at or very near the top of almost every major leaderboard. It's sweeping them, just consistently outperforming a lot of other very, very good models.
Okay, but we have to be a little skeptical. We know benchmarks can be gamed.
Of course.
So when you see a sweep like this, does that signal a true leap in capability or just, really good test optimization?
I think this level of consistent domination from a brand new release is just...
Yeah.
It's too broad to be simple optimization. It's rare. It suggests a systemic leap in core intelligence, logic, coding, creativity all at once. To me, it signals that they finally figured out how to get all their amazing research teams' deep mind, Google brain, to work together on a single, unified product.
Which is an organizational win.
It's a massive organizational win. That's as important as the tech itself.
And that brings us to the real-world signals, because this goes beyond tests in a lab, right?
Yes. This is probably the most compelling piece of evidence. We learned that a major AI platform, one that provides coding assistance to thousands of developers, just made a huge call.
Okay.
They replaced their entire existing model infrastructure with Gemini 3 Pro.
Wow. That's not a small decision. The risk there must be huge.
It's enormous. You're swapping out the core brain of your platform. If it's unstable, if it disrupts workflows, you could lose customers overnight.
So the fact they did it means they must have been incredibly confident.
Exactly. They found it just flat out outperformed what they had before across speed, accuracy, understanding complex instructions, nearly every metric that matters in the real world.
And when a company votes with its infrastructure like that,
Yeah.
that's probably the strongest signal you can get.
It moves the discussion from, a hypothetical win on a leaderboard to proven superiority in the market. It suggests a genuine capability improvement, not just good marketing.
Okay, so Gemini's performance is one half of the story this week, but it's only half. Google also made a second major announcement that points to where they think the future of coding is going.
Right, their new development platform.
A platform focused entirely on agent-based coding.
This is a huge strategic move.
Yeah.
They aren't just trying to own the model, they want to own the entire application layer on top of it. This thing is a next-gen coding environment that uses AI agents, these little autonomous programs, to handle huge parts of the development process for you.
And this didn't come from nowhere. The context of who built this is really important.
Yeah, the project is led by the founders of a coding assistant startup that Google acquired last year.
So that was a strategic buy.
Clearly, they didn't just buy the talent. They bought a team and a technology stack that was already thinking this way. It was the missing piece that let them integrate Gemini's power into a full developer experience so quickly.
Okay, so let's make this really concrete for a minute.
Yeah.
If you're a developer today, you're writing code line by line. What does this new agentic workflow actually look like? This is where it gets really interesting.
It completely shifts your role. You go from being a code writer to being more of a supervisor.
An architect.
Give us an example.
Okay, so imagine you get a bug report. The checkout cart on your website is crashing under very specific conditions.
Right, normally that's hours of digging through logs.
Exactly. But here, you give that high-level goal to the platform. Then the system spins up multiple cooperating agents.
Multiple agents.
Yes. So Agent 1 might analyze the logs and find the exact error. Agent 2 then brainstorms a few potential fixes. Agent 3 writes the code for the best fix.
And crucially.
Crucially, Agent 4 runs all the tests to make sure the fix didn't break something else. The human developer just oversees the process, reviews the final code, and gives the okay.
So you're the conductor, not the violinist. You're guiding this little orchestra of AI programs. Precisely. You're setting the vision, handling the tricky edge cases, and ensuring the final quality. The AI is doing all the grunt work. It's a fundamental change.
But Google isn't the only one thinking this way.
Not at all. We have to be clear, they are entering a very crowded field. There are a lot of other next-gen editors experimenting with agentic development.
Startups and established players.
Absolutely. Some are browser-based, some are standalone apps. The whole industry is moving in this direction.
Which highlights a really interesting tension point.
Mm-hmm.
If you have dozens of startups building these agent platforms on flexible open source models,
Yeah.
does Google's superior proprietary model guarantee them a win?
Or does the flexibility and low cost of that open ecosystem give the little guys a critical edge? That's the big question.
So let's connect the dots. We've got the model dominance with Gemini 3, and we've got the workflow innovation with the agent platform. What does this tell us about their overall strategy?
I think if you connect this to the bigger picture, Google is betting that they can win on every front at once. They want to have the most powerful foundational model and own the application layer with the smoothest workflow. They want the whole stack.
So going back to our original question, capability versus execution. It sounds like the answer is both. They finally merged the two.
That's it, exactly. The capability, the technical leap in Gemini 3 is the engine. But the execution unifying their teams, making that strategic acquisition, and shipping the agent platform so quickly, that's their competitive moat.
The early failure was organizational. The comeback is an organizational success.
A huge one, backed by real technology. And it implies a massive rapid shift for anyone who writes code for a living. The economic impact of changing the developer role from creator to supervisor, that's going to be immense.
It is a rapidly shifting landscape. You blink and you miss a major strategic pivot. What an incredible turnaround story. So let's just synthesize the key takeaways for you today. First, Google's undeniable comeback, which is rooted as much in organizational execution as it is in a technical leap with Gemini 3.
And second, that industry-wide shift toward an agent-supervised coding environment. It's fundamentally redefining what it means to be a developer.
Moving from a manual skill to a supervisory one.
Yeah. And that leads us to our final provocative thought for you to think about. Given this quick shift from disaster to leader, and given that academic benchmarks are getting less and less relevant, What's the next unconventional real-world metric that's going to define AI leadership?
Beyond just stock price or coding scores.
Right. Is it how quickly an agent platform can navigate complex regulatory filings? Or maybe its ability to launch and run a small, autonomous online business from scratch?
Something for you to mull over as you watch this all unfold. We'll catch you on the next deep dive. Thanks for listening.